Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for the two newest episodes of the Shannara Chronicles Warlock and Amberle. And I'm putting these together because I felt that not a lot happened enough to warrant each one to kind of have their own separate review, because I felt that there was like dead space in a lot of it. That there's a lot of stuff that could have been condensed or even done in a shorter time frame, to be honest with you. So, Warlock is the first one. That opened up with the kind of fallout of the ambush at the wedding. And they kind of get into a separate room. The mother shows affection towards Lyria, which we have not seen to this point, and kind of like sacrifices herself. And like, you're the only one that can open Heaven's Well, gives her the stone, which makes sense that would be the key to doing that. So her and Eritrea leave. The Queen, Slanter, and Jax get captured, and it's like she bows to him to acquiesce to his control over Lee, which doesn't make any sense at all, because if Lee is as big as a kingdom as it would be, they'd have an army. Now, like math. If her army, the only way General Riga would be able to really take over Lee, provided we understand a true estimation of his forces at this point, is that Lee's got no more than like 20 soldiers. They have to have more soldiers. There would have been like a secret rescue mission to rescue the Queen and all that kind of stuff. It's like, what? Because evidently by killing Ander and taking the Queen, Riga at this point in this episode is like, I have control of Arbalon and Lee. I'm like, what? I understand that people got fucked up by the demons, but I have not seen anything to the contrary that you have enough people to take over two kingdoms simultaneously, and that each kingdom, granted, I have not seen their armies, but they need to have armies. They're nation states, for crying out loud. I mean, what? Do they only have enough people to protect their monarchs? How are they not getting assassinated every episode then? It just boggled my mind. And then seeing Queen Tamlin her character decide to flip-flop from being, in the beginning, calm, cool, and in control, to doing stupid things, to then being a selfless mother who loves her daughter, which we have not seen anything really to that effect, is just mind-bogglingly bad plot pacing and bad character development. Because, I mean, last episode, she's like being, the bad queen. And they're not bad as in evil, but like, I got this shit. To, I don't got this shit, and I should be nice to my daughter now. Not like she keeps running off, and you would pretty much want to include her in your plans, probably. That's just me. So, that's kind of where it's at. They kind of run off, and they pretty much hide Lyria off where they were keeping the Mordwraith. She's trying to figure out what to do. They got her mother and all that. And then, of course, Coglin comes in eventually because Eritrea's got a dream. And Amaryllis told Eritrea to bring Will to the Elcrease. It's like, alright. So she goes off to find Will, who's at Storlock because Alanon has pretty much got fucked up by the wound by the Warlock Blade. Slips into a coma, and then, of course, the one head gnome dude's like, hey, when you came to train here, he gave this. It's like a codex, or something. The Codex of Paranor. It's like, oh, okay, so how about we get our friend that knows how to read Druid, Meredith, like, go to, because Meredith is like, being like, I need to save my father. Will's like, I don't know how, and I'm like, it's my fault, and all that. It's like, okay, kind of overdramatic, and kind of like, alright. So, they find out a way to enter his dream state, which is kind of like a weird way, in my opinion, that doesn't really make sense. They had to cut rune symbols One above Alanon's heart and a corresponding one on Meredith's, so she could enter it. But of course, this comes with the risk that he could die before she gets out. So she does it anyway. And like, I don't know what's happened. Then she gets jerked in. She almost gets like hit by a demon. Of course, Alanon takes it out. Like, listen, I'm here for a reason. And it's like, yeah, Alanon probably usually does these things. So they go, they find this like lake. And he's like, listen, I've been called here. You haven't. Don't go in the water. Kill you. Alright? So he goes off, talks with his old mentor, which was interesting. And they parlay. He's like, I thought I was training the new druid band and pushed him too far. I was like, no, that's the one. She's a new druid. Okay. And he gives him a druid sword thing. Hilt. And here's the thing. Don't know how this magic stuff works, because they are fast and loose with their magic walls in this thing. Somehow he's able to bring it back. Start explaining, I'm losing my magic, she's a new druid, see a rune burned into Merritt's neck. I'm like, yeah, that had something to do with all that. And, of course, they're trying to figure out what to do. We learn eventually that, well, that's in the next episode, but they're all getting all up together. Eritrea's like, pops in at around that point, like, I have to take you to the Elk Creek. You've been summoned, Will. And he's like, I've been there, tried to talk to her all this time. He's like, listen, you've been summoned now. Go do your stuff. So, of course, they go off to get ready to do their stuff. Then, of course, we see that Queen Tamlin doesn't acquiesce to Griga completely. He wanted to show a force that the Queen submits to his rule. And, of course, like, I'll execute you all at sunset. She's not complaining, but like lamenting all the stuff that she's done. And then when it's her time to get pushed by the stick, she instead walks off herself. Like, okay, don't care. Getting a promise before that Jax would go and protect Lyria. So of course, him and Slanter are having a banter. They're like, yeah, we don't really have people to miss us. So they're getting taken to their execution, and ninja gnomes come out of nowhere, and the one guard dude comes up like, yeah, I'm going to honor a memory and get you guys out of here. It's like, okay, where the fuck are the rest of you guys? I mean, yeah, some of them got killed during the ambush. I understand that fact, but you escaped. There's got to be more people that's like, crazy fanatics have taken over the capital. Shouldn't we do something about that? Just thinking. Okay. No, I'm gonna let these guys go. Alright. Cool. That's about all we hear from them. What's going on? We see Bandon take over Greymark and is setting up, does some badass stuff to kill the Crimson left at Greymark, and he is doing his whole summoning ritual for the Warlock Lord, and succeeds. And it's like, whoa, okay. And that's kind of where we start getting in the next episode. We see that since he had used Alanon blood in the ritual, the Warlock Lord now is essentially in the body of Alanon, and looks similar to the Dagnamor, so I don't know if that makes him a demon or not, but we'll see if that gets explained. And he's like, alright, what you want? And he's like, I want my girlfriend back. Catania. I'm like, because this is in the next episode, he's like, I want my love back. It's like, alright, then you're mine forever. Where did he get her body? Okay, that introduces a lot of questions, and it's like, where did he get her body? How long has he had her body? How did he transport her body? Because it's a dead body. And, of course, this fits into the Warlock Lord's plan. He resurrects her. She's like, I would rather be dead! Of course. And, of course, he uses his powers and enthralls her and everything, pretty much teaching him, listen, you gotta be devoid of desire. You serve the darkness now. The darkness does not serve you. And uses the Warlock Blade to kill the enthralled necromantic body of Catania. It's like, alright. That's because this was an interesting play to put Bandon on the back foot and see if he would actually continue on the dark path, which he now has. I kind of really would have wanted him to maybe be like, you know what, this isn't worth it, and kind of went and tried to redeem himself. He could still have that potential. So I still think that he is the best character at the moment that we have been shown was. I still like Al-Anon. I still like Will. Al-Anon's could use a little bit more, but we'll see. So on the Amberle episode, the main bulk takes up of Eritrea helping Will get to the Elcrease, and of course, trying to free the Chosen, which in that portion she does some badass stuff, does some badass fight scenes with some Crimson, and then a mortar rate goes into her eyes go black. It's like, oh, that's not good. And then, of course, Will's going in and talking with the Elcrease, and we find out that the reason the Sword of Shannara broke was that he couldn't face the truth that Amberle's dead. And I'm like, yeah, I understand that he loved Amberle. There's a certain point where you're like, dude, she turned into a tree. I'm pretty sure that whatever consciousness that was her, that is any kind of remnant in the tree, is really not her anymore. It is more of a magical entity at this point, not Amberle. She's gone. And of course, that was this whole point of it, which I think could have been drastically shortened because, like, he's talking to his father. His father was quite crazy because he couldn't have the truth of, like, you know what, I wanted to stay alive for my wife and my son to be. Like, okay. So he has to come to terms with the fact that Amberle's gone. And then, of course, his sword's back together. And he's like, yay, I can defeat the Warlock Lord now. Because he was always afraid that he would fail to defeat the Warlock Lord because of that vision. It's like, no, you have the strength to do it. It's like, okay, but we haven't really been shown him having that strength. I mean, we have seen him getting stronger and being more decisive and actionful, using the Elfstones to protect the ones that he cares about most. But this is a whole nother level of he needs fighting skills to effectively do this. I mean, he was doing okay with Bandon until Bandon broke his sword. So, hopefully this gets it together because it's just like, alright. So he gets out and he sees all the Crimson. He sees Eritrea lying down. And like, yeah, I took them all out, I guess. Yeah. And she's hugging him, and we see her eyes flash black and everything. And they go off, and we see that she thought that the Chosen were okay. She eventually evidently went kind of Hulk mode and killed everybody. So that's something that we're going to have to deal with and see what goes on. The last bit that's kind of going on in the Amberle episode is Al-Anon training Merith. And it's kind of cool seeing her try and focus and use the druid blade and all that. And he's like, I have to train you and get you to understand what's going on. And seeing him kind of like actually bond and everything. Fine. He kind of like gets a little bit undone and he has to like lie down for a little bit. And she's like, why are you telling me all this about, like, attachment, love, and all that stuff? And she's like, did you love my mom? And he's going into this and all these things that he liked about her. And she's like, you didn't answer it. Did you love her? And he's like, she's the only woman I ever loved. And he's like, I need to rest now. Please leave. And I'm like, wow. Because that's a big thing. Because Al-Anon sees that the attachments that he's had have led to more harm than good. Now, I think it would be hopefully to see that like Merith can kind of learn from that and learn that attachments in and of themselves are not bad, but how we view them and react to them is what usually causes problems, because Al-Anon pretty much states, if you're the druid, you're going to watch everybody you love grow and die. And of course Merith really has no choice in that matter since the runes and everything are burning into her neck and everything. So she's kind of thinking about that. They continue kind of training. We learned that Al-Anon said that he should have taken a druid sleep after the whole Dagnamore stuff to recharge, but now he's dying because of all the magic that he's expended. You have to take druid sleep, essentially, to recharge yourself. And so since he's getting weaker and losing the runes and everything, that's when General Riga and the rest of them, since they had been giving a tip by one of the people in Storlock, comes and takes them and pretty much threatens to kill Meredith, and that's when Alan gives him the codex. It's like, okay, cool. Burn him at the stake. And he gets information that they have not heard anything from Greymark. So, what happens? Well, pretty good thing that I liked is that they went off to Greymark. I'm like, oh, this is hopefully the redeeming part will be that General Riga will die. So, we see everything getting pretty much coming together. They get to Greymark. Like, who the hell are you? It's like, okay. And he essentially burns all the people, except Riga's like, oh, okay. He's like, your magic won't hurt me. I'm going to purge the Four Lands of magic. And then he's like, does something smart. He uses barbed wire, wraps him up, puts him in the gate, and rips his head off, saying that the land will be consumed by magic. I'm like, glad General Riga's out of the picture, because he was an alright villain, but I don't think that this show had room enough for two villains. So, one of them had to go, and I would rather see stuff with the Warlock Lord going on rather than General Riga. So it's like, oh crap. So, this second episode ends with us seeing Al-Anon and Meredith tied to the stake, him apologizing to Meredith for getting her into this situation, them holding hands as a fire is lit underneath them. And I'm like, there's some okay stuff in it. It just could have been paced better, could have been executed better, could have been written better. I mean, there's stuff I liked. I liked how General Riga got taken out. That was fun. But other than that, it followed the kind of like, I don't mind if tropes and cliches are used, or it follows certain templates, but when nothing is done to make it kind of your own, make it kind of exciting, where I'm like, oh, this is the 50th time I've seen this kind of thing, but you've just done it the same way as anything else. It's like, what do you expect? I kind of got bored watching these two episodes, so hopefully they're able to do some better stuff to finish out this season, but I don't know, man. I don't know what they're going to do for a third season, because I just hope it's not. I hope that they finish this stuff with Will and Amberle. Be like, I'm sad that she's dead. I understand that. I get that. It's just, we go a couple episodes and it's like, oh, he's probably over it by now. It's like, no, we're about almost to the end of the season. Now you gotta deal with this. Oh, alright, fine. Just do it so we can move the plot along, because we've been like going weird and having strange pauses in scenes and just seeing the same kind of crap over and over again. Being like, I'm sad about Amberle. I've gotten that fact. I got it at the end of last season. I got it at the beginning of this. Please just do something with it. So they kind of did. Hopefully they've done something with it. And I got the Warlock Lord to rip a dude's head off. That at least helped balance it out. So those are my opinions on the episodes. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.